Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and frenemies, welcome to episode number 9 of the Simon Tefula Show. Today, I have two amazing guests, two inspiring guests.
Hello.
I've come a long way.
Come on.
They are making things happen,
That's
changing
it.
the world, making a difference. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful that you guys have taken time out of your busy schedule to come out and be here. I can't, I'm so grateful.
Our pleasure.
So, I have Oti
Yes, Oti Racquelle, that's me.
and Racquelle.
Hi, I'm Racquelle Deku. Hi.
So, I think I'll just give us a bit of a background. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
So for me, so I was born in Nigeria.
Makes sense.
Yep. I got a green and red passport, guys.
Fantastic.
So I was born in Nigeria,
Yeah.
but I only stayed in Nigeria for about a year, and then I came to London with my mum, and I've been there since. Yeah, so just turned 33 a week ago.
Yeah,
A week ago, yeah. So I've been there since
Wow.
32 years now. Yes, 32
Wow.
years. 32
You have to think
years.
about that.
Yeah, no.
Yoruba or Igbo?
So I'm neither. So
Okay.
I'm actually from River State. River State,
wow,
River
amazing.
State, Port Harcourt. Yeah.
Racquelle, where were you born?
I was born in London,
Okay.
but I went back to Ghana when I was 5 months old,
Oh, wow.
and I came back here when I was 4 years old, and I went back to Ghana as well.
Amazing.
A lot
So,
of going back and forth.
yeah, back and forth, but
So-
I'm here.
You know what I'm going to ask you right now? If you have a
What's that?
Nigerian person
Yeah.
and a Ghanaian person sat in the
Yeah.
same room, you know what I'm going to ask you?
But the
right?
jollof
What are you
rice.
gonna ask?
Come on.
You already
Come
know.
on. It's a no-brainer.
You already know.
It's a no-brainer.
Which one is the best?
Do you know what,
jollof
Simon?
rice?
How about
Yeah?
I cook you some nice Ghanaian jollof?
Wow.
Yo,
I've won. I've
exactly,
won.
exactly.
I've won.
Listen.
I've won.
Bruv,
I'm not saying
let
no
me
to that.
give you my mum's Nigerian jollof
No,
rice. Then
yes.
we're talking.
Yes.
You understand?
That bullet
Yes.
rice.
Wow.
Bullet rice.
Wow.
Yo.
Hey, listen, wait, Simon.
Yeah?
When was jollof rice made with ketchup? Can you explain to me?
Look, all you gotta do is
Who does that?
That's the question.
Who does that?
All this is
Alright,
out there.
alright.
When was jollof rice mixed with ketchup?
It's not happening.
never happened in
I
history.
don't
But
know-
yet,
I don't
the
know what you're talking
Ghanaians
about.
want to mix ketchup
We
with
don't do
jollof
that.
rice.
We don't do that. Salad cream,
Yeah,
maybe. Salad cream.
You see, it's coming
Yeah.
out. It's coming
all I'm
out.
gonna say is to be neutral. Just bring me both,
I will.
and I'll be the judge of
I
that.
will.
Don't worry,
I've
you'll smell it
got
from
you.
the corridor, Simon.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Great. So, which part of London did you guys grow up in, and how did you which part of London did you guys grow up in?
Yeah, so I'm from Southeast London. That's my manor.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
How about you?
And I'm from East London.
Oh, cool. Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how long ago did you guys meet? You said that.
I think it was in 2017.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
We met
Okay,
in
cool.
2017,
Mm.
and I had plans to celebrate my 25th birthday,
Okay.
and I was like running around trying to find a
Okay.
DJ.
Okay.
And then I just met him and I said, "Oh, do you know any DJs?" He was like, "Yeah, I know
Okay.
tons of people." Like
Yeah,
he always
yeah,
said,
yeah.
like my guy.
Got to shout out a couple.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out. Nah, let me not shout out a couple of them. Let me not-
That was cool. They always
Yeah.
welcome on this show.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then he helped me with that, like
Yeah.
just planning it. It was
Yeah.
one of the best birthdays I've ever had,
Wow.
and he was hosting it as well.
Oh, amazing.
So we just hit off from there.
Wow. What was the theme of the birthday party?
It was a Hawaiian theme on a boat.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That that sounds sick.
It
That
was
sounds
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah, it was. I did the most by dressing up.
Yeah, you did.
I wore
Yeah.
the skirt and
The
stuff.
hula
Winter
skirt.
or summer, by the way?
No,
Summer,
summer.
summer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because obviously.
You got to banter it.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
dress up. I was hosting, so I had to make sure I had to look like a Hawaiian person.
I've got pictures, guys.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah. So at what point does the idea? So first of all, what is it that? What business do you guys run, and how did the idea come about? Just in a nutshell.
So initially, I worked in marketing and events,
Oh, cool.
but I left that to become a teacher.
Okay.
And I just missed the aspect of like planning. I was
Yeah.
always that friend that
Yeah.
encouraged my friends to do something for their birthday, and I used to
Okay.
plan everything
Oh, that's
down to
amazing.
the T.
yeah.
And I also helped my brother plan his wedding as well. And
Oh wow.
I just started to like feel something just stirring up inside me. So just start your own thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember it was around like January, February in 2018, and
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
got tired of reading over like my notes and seeing the same New Year's resolution: start your own business, start your own business. And I just thought, just do it. So I
exactly.
started it, and
Yeah.
then I was speaking to Oti about potentially collaborating with him with like different ideas. Like we
Mhm.
actually spoke about doing a pop-up cinema with bean
Yeah,
bags.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so it just hit up from there. I did my logo. I planned like some social media campaigns.
Yeah.
I just started my business, and I just thought, do you know what? I just need to get it out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I spoke to him.
Yeah.
And then he just had tons of amazing ideas, because I just wanted to do like baby showers and bridal showers and all of those girly things. Yeah. But then he gave me like a new perspective on how to actually execute business. And so we put my creative flair, my event side, and matched up with his networking background and his business expertise, and we just hit off from there. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Spot on. So like,
do you want to add?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's the business called, and what is it in one line?
Yeah, sure. So the interesting thing is, right, initially we was again looking at the bridal showers, kind of birthday parties, over on the feminine side, and then I was just like, it's gonna be hard to reach the guys if you use that. And then we added like an X, a pink X. And it was a good logo. Don't get me wrong. It was
my baby.
It's cool. And I was just like, well, it's gonna be hard to win the male audience with that logo. And so I said, look, let's strip everything away. And let's look at the core things that really represent us as individuals. And then obviously my background, so I've been in recruitment for since 2011. So my whole philosophy is about connecting people, but from a selfless perspective, where if I can help you get a job that's right for you, then I've done something right. I've been successful. So we were just like, well, let's create an environment where people can network. And then for us, we're very, like, as you can see by personality, we're very out there, very retro, very hipster, just kind of like, we love to bounce. Thanks, bro. We like to bounce.
I'm in fashion, so
come on.
Thank you.
Can I just say, I'm loving the hair, man.
Thank you.
Represent the hair.
Come on.
Right?
Thank you.
So I kind of like said, look, let's just bring in that networking side, merge it with your creativity side. And so go back to your question, is like what the business is. It's a hybrid company. It has a mixture of networking but also social hangouts. So what we've seen in the past is a lot of events companies will have like the setup of a keynote speaker, which is fine and that's effective. A lot of them might meet up over a brunch, etc. But we sat down and thought, I think we're in a day and age where people want a bit of flair, people want to engage, people want to have something that encourages them to step out their comfort zone, right? But then we found out like a lot of people sort of around 23, 24 to like 30 want to still have that social aspect of going out, but not necessarily stay out till 3 or 4 a.m.
That is true.
But they still want to, there's something in the air that they want to still vibes and enjoy life. There's something there, like you want to, what are you doing this Friday? What are you doing this day? There's still that atmosphere. So we're thinking, well, why can't we think of a business model that has a healthy mix of those elements?
Right.
So I said to Racquelle, let's come up with this beanbag and movie night kind of concept where it has that social aspect. We have a DJ playing before and after the film, and then we have different sponsors, different people, affiliate business, startup companies, SMEs or large organizations that want to provide sponsorship or get their business out there. We can use that as a channel to promote, but also like have like real interactive games and stuff to be able to encourage that conversation between someone that you don't know, and then allow that to organically grow. But we're creating an environment for that. So for us, it's like the elevator pitch, if you want to use it, we're a social, engaging, networking brand. That's us.
Amazing. And the name is
MADEMECXLLECTIVE.
Collective.
With an X.
Yes, so you take out, instead of the O, we put an X in there instead.
How did you come up with that name? Who came up with it?
Initially, the brand that we started off before was Made Marketing and Events. But we wanted to keep the Made Me element. So then we came up with like a new vision of just connecting people, like what Oti was saying, that giving it that community feel. So that's where the collective comes from. So now we are Made Me Collective.
Oh, fantastic.
And how that came about was through going to a couple of workshops by Virgin, and we came across a network community called the Power Circle, when they introduced us to a branding specialist, Lauren. And then
shout out to Lauren.
Come on,
shout out to Lauren.
Shout out Power Circle. So for those that don't know, Power Circle is a community of like-minded entrepreneurs and creatives that come together to support each other.
100%.
And, you know, networking events, workshops, brunches, and in the spirit of kind of collaborating and supporting each other. And Lauren is like the branding and personal development specialist in that group, and everyone is like goes to her. So shout out to Lauren.
Come on.
Shout out to Pastor Keo, Nikita.
Come on,
you know,
Come on. So we was fortunate enough, and how we got introduced to them is because Racquelle was on a branding webinar.
Yeah, she builds brands.
Yeah, QB, another great, amazing person. Yeah, definitely recommend do your research on her, get some tips. And then there's another business called Two Pencils and Pad, and so Racquelle reached out to them because they're logo specialists, and for us as you know, our culture is building relationships with people and networking. So Racquelle reached out to say, look, this is what we do. You want to meet for coffee, etc. And then later on, they actually were very instrumental in helping us creating our new brand logo.
Yeah. Amazing. That's incredible. Wow. Yeah. So obviously, starting any sort of business is really, really difficult, right?
It is.
And so, do you guys run the events once a month, once a week? How regularly do you run these events, by the way?
So yeah, I guess that's a really interesting question. So for us, we've been in the business and we've set up for about a year now. Just coming to a year. Yeah. And we still work full time.
Yeah.
And
I'm still at uni.
Still at uni, studying. And so for us, it's actually we'll probably go into this later in terms of your challenges is managing your 9 to 5.
Exactly.
And also the business. So for the networking events, we've kind of in our calendar put it at least once a quarter.
Yeah. Okay.
As in for us. Hosting our own events, but in between that time, we do manage mini projects where someone can say, "Look, Oti and Racquelle, we want to set up this event, and we have 2 packages where we do a consultancy, help them draft their plan, or we actually use their budget and actually implement and execute their event. So at least that gives us some revenue within those 3 months, and then we can plan it and review it for the end of the year. What was successful, what didn't work, etc. So but for us, in our terms of our pop-ups, we do it at least once every 3 months.
And do you do them outdoors or indoors or both, or?
We do them both, I would say, So like obviously during like the winter time, we tend to have it in like indoors, cozy.
It's cold.
It's cozy. So
It's real.
Yeah. Amazing. Wow.
And then during the summer we'll do like the big day parties. Yeah.
Amazing. So obviously, like I was saying, it's really hard to set up something, right? Like, what are some of the challenges you've faced, kind of getting this off the ground?
I would say for myself, so initially when I first started, I did have my own vision and my own idea.
Of course.
But I know when you first start, it becomes your baby,
and then attached to it emotionally, right?
Exactly, and you get attached to it. And I just thought to myself, I just don't want to change my idea. And if I'm being 100% honest, and we had growing pains in the beginning. If I'm just free in the realness.
Come on, be real.
I'm being real. And I think for me, it was just trying to get my head around the whole branding game. It's not what I expected, if I'm being honest. But I've learned a lot along the way, and actually going to those workshops and branding sessions, and actually seeing like how important it is to actually produce an idea or a service that's solely for your customers and not for yourself, because I was getting carried away.
It's real. Pick there.
All right. Well, okay, that is true. That is true. So I think for me, it was just like adapting to, what is considered as branding, and it's not what I thought it was initially, which I am really happy that I actually went to the branding workshop, because they allowed me to see like the wider picture in terms of how to appeal to your wider audience, how to socially engaging like events and content and social media and just so many different things like that. So I'm grateful. But I think another challenge, like what Oti was talking about, is just balancing families and friends. I'm back at uni, and we're also youth mentors as well.
So it has been a challenge to like manage a business, manage working full time, also doing voluntary stuff.
But it's worth it.
But I was just talking to a friend. I was just like, when you was younger, I want to be rich, I want to be this, and then you realize the amount of work you have to put in. Exactly. But it's a thing, right? I was talking to someone like, I do my 9 to 5, so I'm a recruitment manager for a media agency. Sometimes you have to finish late, etc. But then I have day 2, part 2 of my day where it's another 6 or 7 hours invested in the business.
You have your 9 to 5 and you're
another 6 to 7. Yeah, literally. So going to bed at 12, 1, and I remember like for the last couple of months for us, it was so busy, like planning an event, doing the voluntary stuff. But I realized because of the passion you have, again, for the charitable aspect of, we're really passionate about that. So we was like, for example, in events, we give a percentage away to a charitable cause.
Amazing.
Yeah. So and we're passionate about giving to a community. So that's what we do face to face. And then we're very motivated. So we put 100% at work, put 100% through education. And when it comes to the business, we have such long-term plans of how we want to see this become a global product. So for us, it's like, we don't. It's 12 o'clock and you've been going to bed, but you realize, you know what? I'm so passionate about this. That's what's going to carry me through. And you realize, oh wow, I've just done another 6-8 hours, and you go to bed, set your alarm, and you go again. So
amazing. Wow. In terms of like, you know, fundraising or like money, did you guys have to raise any money in the beginning? Did you just use your savings? How did you approach the financial side of setting up?
So majority of the expenses has been us. We want to make sure that our values are embedded in the business, and it's very, very community focused, very relationship focused and stuff. And until we find an investor or a program necessary that believes in those core values, then we're happy to take our time and let it grow organically.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you know, in the startup community, like everyone that has a lot of people that have ideas almost look at securing investment as the promised land, as the be all and end all, and everyone is celebrating as soon as they raise it.
I've got 10 grand now, etc.
Actually, it's somebody else's money. You're giving up control. You're giving up equity. And so, what people don't realize in the beginning, in the embryonic stage of creating something, like you really have to figure it out fast. And it takes time for you to mold that.
Before we then go out to everyone else. We thought let's really cultivate the brand, because exactly we went through sessions with Lauren, and she kind of made it clear to us, like, the brand is an expression of you.
It is indeed.
It's an expression of you. It's like what Cuba says, I am my brand. And for us, those core principles about community, transparency, building relationships is what we rather focus on rather than the money. We want to make sure that each event, people are going away feeling connected. There is a sense of a community, even in the build up to an event. So, for example, we've got someone to do our flyers recently, and we're making sure just those interactions are groomed by core relationship based principles. So we're not just thinking, oh, you're a vendor, this is what we want, okay, thanks, bye. You know, we really want to get to know them, they get to know us. So therefore, when we talk about who we are, it comes from a place of authority and credibility. So that's what was more focused on, trying to get all the money in the first year or the next 6 months and stuff. We want to make sure that we're building credibility, we're building relationship, we're building networks, we're building confidence, we're learning ourselves, all those kind of things which a lot of people might not see as important, but for us that's what we hold dear, because when you do get big and you are making the billions, those are the things that keep you humble.
That's a great move, because building relationships is the core aspect of building any successful anything. I mean, you know, I always talk about this, that I went to law school and business school. The one thing they never taught us was sales, right? How to sell. Like, there was nothing about that. But by kind of working in industry, I kind of discovered that selling fundamentally involves, like, you building relationships. It just comes down to building relationships and, you know, being somebody that people get to know, like, and trust. And the thing is, once you have a relationship, then, you know, it can lead on to a lot more things.
Correct.
And so I think that the model you guys have is really good, because it means that you're putting the fundamentals in place that then you can then build on, and then moving on from there, you kind of move on from that. So how many, is it just the two of you, or do you have an extended team, or?
It's just the two of us for now, but then we have certain people that help us with like the project management and like the decorating and the catering. So but it's just us for now.
In terms of, like, you know, successes, you know, is there any events or anything that you've done that's really stood out, that's been like a yay moment, or like, and also on the other hand, like the low moment? Because I know, like, I've organized events in the past, and they're so hard to organize.
It's real.
200 people sign up on Eventbrite, and then like no one shows up, or like, you know, like So in terms of organizing events, what's been the highest? What have been, you know, have you had like any successes? Like, this went great, or better than expected? And in terms of low moments, have you like organized an event which is kind of just hasn't worked at all? And if that's happened, what have you learned from both sides of the coin, right?
Well, I think for me personally, one of my favourite events was we did an event for my sister-in-law. So she has a YouTube channel.
Wow.
And just before she got married, she actually wanted to do a talk for young girls, so about premarital sex. And you know, it's such a taboo within the Christian community. Like a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
she just had like a very intimate, very like small setting where she just invited a few girls to come and just share like their stories about, you know, premarital sex. And I think for me, I just love doing events with causes, events that people actually have something to take away from it and they can go and share with their families and friends. And also a lot of girls were like set free from like just revealing a lot of like childhood trauma and different things that they've been going through. So I think for me personally, I just love having events like that. And also with our pop-up event that we had during the Christmas period.
Yeah.
And so Oti was just talking about how like some of our proceeds with every event that we do, it goes to one of our chosen charities, and we gave some of the proceeds to Brixton Soup Kitchen. And the fact that we were able to
He's a legend.
He is a legend. He is. He actually is.
I didn't realize he does it full time. He doesn't get paid.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we reached out to him like on social media and via email, and he was just so lovely, and he just came and
you got a good voice, by the way. Just say it.
Yeah.
He can sing.
Yeah.
He can sing.
Yeah.
Oh, he can sing.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he was before the film, he was just like mucking about, and I was like, bro, you actually
Yeah.
can sing. Like, oh my god.
For those of you that don't know, so the Soup Kitchen is
Brixton Soup Kitchen. Yeah, it's a charity. Yeah.
Can you just explain it to people that don't know what the what Brixton Soup Kitchen is?
Yeah, so it's literally it. They literally provide food and stuff for the homeless.
It's for homeless people, and they also do a discreet service as well, because lots of people suffer in pain.
Yeah.
And what they do is they do a drop-off service where you can reach out to them, and then they'll come at you and drop off like a food package to you. They're doing amazing work.
Yeah, they are.
And the founder that is doing it, like
Solomon.
he doesn't. Solomon. He doesn't get paid,
No.
and I was really blown away. But yeah, anyway, we get back to you. So you contribute some of your proceeds to
different charities.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So I think the charitable aspect is what it's one of the best rewards. I really love planning events, but it's just the fact that I'm able to give back to our community and to also like have events that, you know, people come and they can just have fun and be themselves, because just like what Oti was saying, like I'm 26 and I don't necessarily always want to go out and like to the club or like rave. Sometimes I just want to spend some time with my family and friends and just have fun and you know, just exactly.
Meet new people.
Meet new people.
It was good because even like, you know, when we did our Christmas event, it was just good. Sometimes I just stood back and just watched, you know, just people were laughing. You know, it's a mixed sort of ethnic community. So there's the Caucasians, there was blacks, there was all sorts. And so for us, it was like that was really positive. And, to really penetrate that unique space of where, you know, you have a healthy environment where you can talk to someone that potentially could help you get a job interview. You can talk to someone who potentially could be your logo designer. You can talk to someone who's your website designer. You know, for example, we have one of our someone on the network who specialises in creating hampers. You know,
golden baskets.
Golden baskets. You know what I mean? So she was able to put her stuff out there. And so for us, it's turning around and having that as something to build on, where the feedback's really positive. Like I had fun. Like I know one of my female friends, she was like, I've been waiting for something like this. You know, she's like, she's turning 30 and stuff. So she just wants to go out with her girls, but she wants to dress up. She just wants to wear jeans, heels, and a nice top, and then just enjoy the evening after work. So enjoyment. Hashtag enjoyment. And so just looking back and the fact that our events offer something quite unique, where, for example, you go to the cinema. And you can go over, you know, you're by yourself. Shout out to people like me who go to cinema by myself sometimes. I enjoy it. Yeah. I love my food, so I don't want to share. Exactly. But I do go out with my friends and stuff, and you might go with a girl, whatever. Yeah. But
it's okay to go out on your own. It is. Simon says it's fine when you do on your own. Yeah.
So, you know, it's really cool when you have something where you're not just conditioned to watching a film, eat your popcorn, and go home. Whereas we create a chill out environment, something's pretty quirky. Before the movie, we have a DJ in the background. If you're into Afro beats, you know what I mean, and stuff like. And then when the film finishes, then you you can talk about the film. You can talk about what made you laugh, what you didn't like, etc. With music, with food. You know, it's a vibe. It's a proper vibe. So after the film, there's a little mini part, not like crazy or nothing like that, but it's just a good vibe. And so there's a good transition for people to go home to. You know, they've exchanged Instagrams, they've exchanged numbers, and like, oh, I'll see you at the next event. And so for us, that's exactly the kind of community and momentum that we want to build.
And
so
I think as well, it's kind of like taking us back to our childhood a bit in terms of like having that whole beanbag aspect. And I never thought in a million years that I'll be sitting on a beanbag watching a film, but it's like people actually enjoy that. And there's, you know, we want to create events where people don't necessarily have to be on their phones, or like they're saying like, I'm bored at home, because in London it's such a multicultural, like energetic society, but there's a lot of people that feel alone and they feel like they don't really have that sense of community. So we really want to bring that feel back. So that's what we're trying to do.
That's amazing. The thing I love about what you guys are doing is that, first of all, we live in a very kind of like the world we live in right now. People are so divided. Like, you know, communities are divided, people are divided, you know, people hate you, people are talking about building a wall, people are talking about taking back control. And the thing I love about what you guys are doing is it fundamentally bringing people together.
Correct.
And, you know, building those relationships and creating those conversations. And this is how we solve problems. This is how, like, we as a community and as humans, right? Like, this is how we move forward. Like, and I love the fact that your business has got the social aspect to it as well. Because, you know, that really helps in the long term. I mean, you know, people are fed up of buying products from the man and like just, you know, you're just going to the cinema, whatever. But like, I mean, you know, that whole aspect of the socializing is really, really good. And I can see a lot of value for that. So in terms of what you've been doing, like when you first started out, like I know obviously you had your own ideas in terms of that. How do you see this evolving? Like, you know, where do you, because obviously, are you just doing this in London, by the way, or is it just based?
For now, we do have plans to have like pop-ups in different locations, and within also we'll tailor it where, like for example, when it's Chinese New Year, we want to do something to celebrate that community. When it's Black History Month, do something to celebrate the community, and it's quite themed, so you wear your African attire to watch, you know.
Did you do anything for Black Panther?
Oh, no. I wasn't really caught up in that hype.
What's it about is, are you guys planning a filming or like, you know,
something along those lines? 100%. Watch this space.
We've spoken about Avengers.
We do.
I've got my outfit ready.
Wow, amazing. Yo, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's real. We actually, for example, we've got our next event on February the 16th.
Okay.
It's going to be in Shadwell.
The day after Valentine's Day.
The weekend, So the weekend of Valentine's, and that's a Greece-themed pop-up cinema experience. So we encourage, you know, people that get the tickets, we encourage them to dress up as one of the Greece characters, or that kind of 1950s attire. And so there's going to be quite a few sing-alongs. There's going to be like a couple of games, like hula hoop competition, all that kind of stuff. Not giving too much away, you know. Like pool table there, there'll be the foosball, and that stuff.
Where is that happening?
So it's going to be near, like, if you guys know where Shadwell is, if you know Whitechapel area, Aldgate East area, it's literally in that vicinity. But we got the tickets on Eventbrite as well. So
when they go onto Eventbrite, what should they search for?
You can just type in Pop-Up Cinema and on the MADEMECXLLECTIVE, so that'll come up here. But also you can follow us on our Instagram as well.
That's amazing.
And the tickets are on Eventbrite, on our bio on our Instagram.
The other thing I was going to ask is, like, I know obviously you have different skill sets, but like, you know, is there anything you've learned while doing this? Is there any kind of skills? First of all, what skills? Obviously, you studied sociology for your undergrad.
Yes, I did.
And you have, you know,
recruitment background.
Recruitment background. So of course, that is a nice marriage of skill sets. Is there anything else you've learned while doing this, like in terms of skill sets, like?
I think for me, just the project management aspects of events. I think I was always helping out, like, in the back scene of like planning events, but I didn't know how much that went into it. So I actually have a mentor, and she's done some amazing events like with Harrods and like with different companies, and she just continuously like just pours into me and just says, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should know. And just having that favor, it's just been amazing. But also in terms of like with the social media aspect, I design a lot of like the graphics that we post. So I didn't even know I had it in me. So I just thought to myself, we need a flyer, we need it today, I'm going to do it. And he's very creative as well. And we work hand in hand and just producing different things. So I would say, events, graphics, and project management and just running a business in itself.
I mean, you know, when you do this sort of thing, when you then go to an event, you have a different appreciation of how much effort it takes to organize something. Like I said, like I've done events in the past. Some have worked, some haven't. Yeah. Like it's so hard.
It is,
It's really hard. Like because you just never know. I mean, sometimes people pay and they still don't show up. Yeah. And you're like, you know, why would someone pay? Like, you know, we had someone on this show who was talking about how someone paid £500. They had a birthday party or something. Someone paid £500 for a table or something. They never showed up.
Wow.
You know, but like people, like events is very strange.
It is.
Is it the same? Because obviously, in my experience, doing events, a 20 to 40% turnout is usually the, you know, when people sign up, you know, usually like that's what normally happens. Yeah. So if you get like 50%, especially if it's a free event, that's a very good turnout. Yeah. But even with paid events as well, when you compare them to the free ones or they have to pay a bit of extra, like, you know, anything else that you've kind of... You know,
so like just going back to when you mentioned like your highlights and a couple of things of challenges, I think if we be real, it's been sort of like an emotional journey, managing the tensions between work and the business, and then getting to know Racquelle on a business level, vice versa. It's and learning how to manage the vision. So as Racquelle may have a particular way of seeing things, I may have a particular way of things, but learning how to cooperate on a friendship and business level, it's been a rewarding experience because we both have to learn. We both make mistakes. I may have stepped on her toes. She may have stepped on my toes, etc. It's real. It's real. But I think that's the beauty of the business. That's the beauty of the journey where you know we've tried like a particular like I said, we spent a lot of time initially with the business when it was made, marketing events. We put a lot of Instagram posts out there, and we had to be critical of ourselves of where we went wrong with it. We went wrong with the campaigns. We went wrong with the messages on social media, and we just took it on the chin and said, you know what, scrap it. It didn't work. Let's go again. We rolled up our sleeves and we built it. And now if you look at our page, it has such a real kind of quirkiness, a real cleanness, a real rich feel to it, a bit more professional appeal. And so just those learning, even just like managing relationships with a couple of the vendors and stuff. When you're working with affiliate partners, coming to agreements and disagreements or misunderstandings, you've got to manage that to make sure you're at least all walking towards the same direction. When you've got timelines to be able to deliver something, you've promised your social media community this is going to be out by a certain time, and you're like, it's an hour later. Like, oh my days, it's real. And all those kind of things, and I guess the reality of a business, right? You never stop learning, and you have to continue that attitude of learning, and you know, being willing to ask questions, ask for help, etc. Talk to other people who've done it before, you know. And so for us, it's like we are students, right? In our hearts, as in terms of our attitudes about life. So for us, we're just going to continue learning. We haven't made it yet, and even though we do make the millions, we're still going to have that attitude of learning. So that's, I think, even events, even on the like when we did our Christmas event, like we were like, oh my gosh, it's an hour left to set up. Like, what are we doing? We haven't got this, and we're like, we're running there.
It's about managing the tension.
all that kind of stuff, and like it's real. But you know, thank God, like it was able to be successful. It was a sold out event, all that kind of stuff. And vice versa, you're planning your next event. You know, you're trying to get this person on board. You got to arrange times when they're free and when you're free. So there's a lot of challenge. I can go in terms of the challenges and unexpected things that you're like, where did that come from? And then how to manage those emotions. You know, but it's I think it's a continuous growth pain as a business owner, but also it's a continuous like release of celebration and excitement when things do go right. So it's like a seesaw. You can have your good moments, you can have your bad moments, and it's just managing that momentum of both sides and you know keeping focus on the main goal, which is we want to create amazing experiences for the community.
That leads me nicely into my next question, which is something you spoke about, which is managing the whole emotional side of things. Now, obviously,
it's real. It's real.
You know, like talking about this whole thing of self-care, as an individual, and obviously as a business partnership. Like, how do you guys look after yourselves in terms of self-care? Like stress levels. How do you manage this? Because you're balancing jobs, and all this. How do you take time out for it? Like, what do you do to,
Yeah. Do you know?
I think for me, I was just telling Oti, like, my PGC, I don't know if anyone knows, but getting into teaching, it's difficult.
And for those that don't know, what's a PGC?
So a PGC is a postgraduate teaching qualification that all teachers are required to do in terms of like becoming a professional, like, well, a newly qualified teacher or qualified teacher, let's say, in the UK. So I decided to do mine, I think around this time actually. So I applied to my university that I'm at now, and I got in. And so I started in September, and everyone was like saying it's going to be the hardest year of your life. You have no social life, like forget dating, forget everything. And I was just like, it's fine. Yeah, I know. And then in the midst of it, I was just speaking to people, and then they were like, you need to scrap your business. And I was like, there's no way.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and then I was like, there's no way I'm going to do that, because, and then they were like, but how are you going to manage your business? And go back to university, it takes a lot. And to be honest, it has been one of the hardest experiences of my life, just trying to balance family, friends, and maid, and other things like that. I think, but with me, I just never want to lose sight of the vision, and just, keep working towards that, because at the end of the day, I love what I do, and no one can take that away from me. So I think for me, I just want to make people happy. I want people to have fun. I want people to, have a sense of like that community that a lot of people are missing, and, is going towards the fact that a lot of people are suffering with depression, like suicidal thoughts. And
True.
I never want people to be in that predicament, because it's the worst place to be in. So I think for me is, I've just put myself to the side and say, okay, how can I serve my community? How can I serve this person? Because for me, that's what it's about. So I think for me, it's just like, I'm a very like prayerful person. And, all praise to the Most High. So faith plays, so faith just like plays an important factor in my life, and just having some like-minded people around me, and just being honest and open, like with Oti, we've had a few hiccups here and there, but I think just being able to manage that and just say, like, listen, like, let's just, talk it out, let's just air it out, and then how are we going to manage it afterwards? So, but I think for me, praying, like, I love to go for walks as well, just to clear my mind, and reading, and spending time with family, like going to the gym. There's just like different things like that. I just think in this day and age, it's so important to look after yourself.
Absolutely. So
important. So I think for me, that's how I manage it.
How about you?
Yes, similar. So from Racquelle, we make sure we try to like pray together, like at least once a week and stuff. So we have like conversations where, look, like, I'm just feeling crap. Can we like meet up tomorrow? It's real.
It's real. It's actually
so good to have support system.
100%. And we were like, even though the thing is, there's been times where like the event is like 3 weeks away, or like we haven't done. We've got our to-do list, and we're like, oh my days. But we've got a lot of love for each other, not respect each other. You know what? There's no point of forcing your business partner when they're mentioning it there, especially if it's a serious situation where they look, I really just need that time. Then you say, okay, let me carry this amount of weight of this task, and then when you're ready, we'll pick up. So we have a really, really strong relationship like that. So having that support system amongst ourselves, and reason why I want to do that is because if we're going to employ people, when we do employ people, we make it clear that's the culture of the business. When we have people working in offices, etc., we make sure that from the top down, it's a support system business. That, if someone's lost a family member or someone's going through something, we want to make sure that that person feels that the company is supporting them. But we can't enforce that or make that if we're not doing ourselves. So that support system, for me, I love the movies and stuff. So I'll just like, after I do my voluntary stuff, so I finish. So I'll get up by 7 whatever in the morning on a Friday, and then I'll be working, and then I meet with my young people from like 7 to 9, but we don't really finish probably like 10. Then I get home like 11. Then like I'll probably just like flip the phone upside down and just put on the Netflix and just chill. I'm there, my sliders, there my shorts, and just chilling. And just winding down. Or I like call my mate, let's just go for a bite, you know what I mean? Let's go hang out and stuff, and we just chat about life, and I'm telling him about, bro, this week has been mad busy, or like, you know, I wasn't really happy about that choice that I made and stuff. Like, what do you think? Or bro, like, I'm really excited about this, man. Like, I've got this opportunity. I'm doing this in work. I'm doing this in a business, and just having those kind of outlets with your close, intimate friends and stuff, like, really, really help. Yeah.
Absolutely, you have to have that outlet, right? Because
it's real.
It's real, like, and mental health. And I'm really grateful that the culture within work environments generally, like, you know, people are now opening up a bit more about what mental health is, you know, what it means to. There's so many platforms and there's so many places that offer help now in terms of, look, if you need to vent, you need to talk to, you just need some time out, like, you can do your thing and make sure that at least, like, fundamentally the well-being, you know, like, in the startup community, especially here, like, entrepreneurs saying, oh, you know, hustle, no sleep. Sorry, man, I love my sleep.
Come on.
You know, like, so it's really important to tell these stories of startup entrepreneurs and creatives that are doing amazing things, and for people to know that, you know, you can actually take some time out. It's a fundamental part of
you have to enjoy it.
Exactly.
You have to enjoy it. Like, if you, and the thing is, you've got to be real with your expectations, right? You know, we've made sure we manage expectations from the get-go that we're not, it's amazing we made 10K in our first 6 months, that'd be great. But if we don't, no, I'm saying if we did make I'm saying if we did, I'm saying if we came out, we made 10K in the first 6 months, that's great. But for us, it's like, it's the experience and the journey that we're thinking, okay, what can we learn from this? How can we learn from that? Making sure the foundations are right, because we really believe in our value proposition. We really believe in our product. We believe in our service. We believe in our cause so strongly. Like, we know it will blow. We know it will bang. We don't have that.
It will
doubt.
do well.
AKA for the aunties and uncles out there. We know it will do well. So for us, it's like, if we know that's going to happen, then we don't want to try and jump ship. We don't want to try jump the gun. We don't want to try like force it. Do you understand? We want to make sure it's manageable, because if it's not manageable, it can't be consistent.
Of course.
If it's not consistent, then you can't have longevity. That's my philosophy. So make sure it's real. It's simple to you. It's real to you. There's a heart and conviction behind it. So when those tough times do come, you're able to manage it. You're able to. You didn't expect it to be a walk in the park. Do you know what I mean? So in my head, it's just like, you definitely have to have that love and that passion, that simplicity to approach of a business. Because you try to make it more complex than it is, that's when you start. And don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. There's a lot of startups that they've blown. They've got, you know, like I've got a friend who does something within the black community in terms of getting work experience, and he was telling me he's got like a 20k sort of investment and stuff. That's amazing, you know. But I'm not going to start comparing where me and Racquelle to him. Like, other people, they may have 1,000 followers on their Instagram. We've got about just over 500, just under 560 for example, and within just under a year for us. And look, we're not going to like, this person, we don't. I'm just saying, for example, like, for me, man, don't compare. Like, other people, like, I've got this mentor, I've got this person behind me, I've got this network behind me. You know, we stay in our lane. We stay in our lane.
That's what it's about.
We stay in our lane, and we have our goal, we have our focus, we have our vision, and we're taking it step by step, and we will get there. Like, we don't have no doubt about that getting there. So I think you should definitely stay in lane. Don't compare. Like, if someone else gets an opportunity which you would want, celebrate them. Celebrate, like, be happy for them. Don't be like, oh, why every time this person calls me, they've always got a good story, like, every day, bro. Like, why is it you alone? Like, celebrate them. So don't have them kind of bad energy, all that kind of stuff. And like, just stay in your lane, stay humble, stay hungry, and you'll get there.
Cool. In terms of, if you had some tips, right, for someone that's just starting out, that's got any idea to, you know, a dream or a vision they're trying to bring to life, any tips that you have for them?
I think for me, personally, I was making up so many excuses why I shouldn't start my own business. So I don't have enough money, or like, I don't know if it's going to work, or like the competitors are too much, and I was just making tons of excuses. So I would say, like what Oti was saying, like, just don't compare yourself. If like you have something in your heart, just do it.
Start where you are.
Start where you are. You don't need to be like the best in what you have already, but you just have to make use of it. Like, you know, utilize your skills. If you need some time, go for training, go to workshops. Like, there's so many events on Eventbrite which are free that you can just attend with like your friend or by yourself. And you never know who you can meet along the way. You don't necessarily have to start by yourself. You can do it alongside someone as well. And I think just go for it. And I think another thing is just don't overthink. Because I was overthinking a lot.
Paralysis by analysis. Right?
Yes, exactly. And the thing is, it's all well and good for you to, you know, like weigh up like the pros and cons of everything, but then don't allow the cons to consume you, because then it could, you know, potentially be like a hindrance for you to say, oh, do you know what, I'm not going to do it. You just talk yourself out of it. And also be consistent. That's I think that word is so powerful in so many ways, because at the end of the day, you can say, oh yeah, I'm going to start, but then the reason why a lot of businesses fail is because they don't have that consistency. They can have a great idea, but if you're not consistent, then in reality, someone else is just going to pick up and do what you've been doing. So, it's the truth. So, consistency.
I think for me, take some time to really question yourself what your brand represents. And I think when you understand that, that is your USP. Yeah. Because you can have an idea, but an idea doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bought by the masses, right? Because someone else could have a similar idea, right? But it's about what that brand represents, right? And who your audience is and what experience you're offering them from a brand perspective, in terms of your messaging, in terms of your values, all those kind of things, in terms of your why. For me, when you understand that and you fully fall in love with that, and that's your conviction, that's your competitive edge. Because someone else can be like, oh wow, I listened to this podcast and I heard about pop-up cinema, and then they just go and get 10k and start their own pop-up cinema. And you know what, you do what you do, but one thing you will never be able to compete is with our heart and love for people. You'll never be able to compete with our conviction that we want to make sure that it's not just a sold-out event, but it's an event that actually creates an experience where people actually feel connected and they are genuinely connecting with each other. Amazing. Like that, if you don't have, you can't compete against that, because it's something that's birthed from who we are, and that's what we are putting our energy and our time on around our brand. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to our social media, we're not there, but we want to make sure that our messaging represents that. When it comes to the logo, it represents that. When it comes to, you know, the day of the event, it represents that. And that's our USP, and you can't compete against that, because it's my heart conviction. You can't compete what's birthed in me. It's like it's in my bone, as an Af would say, in my bone, you know. So I definitely say make sure you understand what your brand represents and stuff.
That was a really good point in terms of figuring out your fundamental values and your what does your brand stand for?
Your why?
What's your why? Yeah, absolutely. You've watched that talk, right? Simon
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Beautiful.
Right? And the thing is that if you know what you believe in, if you know what you stand for, right? Like that's what drives you, that's what makes you different. You can have 10 people selling exactly the same product.
Correct, yeah.
But the results are always going to be different, because their why is different.
Correct.
Their values, their networks, their everything is different.
Correct.
So that's a really good place. That's really good advice. And I really want to pick up on the point you were talking about you kept telling yourself a story, right? You don't have enough money, you don't have enough resources. So I love a motivational speaking coach called Tony Robbins. And he always talks about, like, it's not a lack of resources holding you back, it's a lack of resourcefulness. What that fundamentally means is that we tell ourselves this story, like, oh, I don't have enough time, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the money. But like resourcefulness is that emotional drive inside of you.
It is, yeah.
And this is what the human race is driven on, right? It's that survival thing, like I have to do this, I'll find a way, I'll make a way, right? Right. And so resourcefulness is that, and that's what you have, and that's what keeps you going. And when you have that, you find the result, you figure it, you find a way of kind of making, that dream that you have happen. Yeah. And so I always just encourage people to there's no such thing as a perfect time, right?
Yeah, you just gotta. I think that the reality is you just gotta start from somewhere, and that kind of goes back to my earlier point of staying in your lane. Don't try and compare. Other people might have a bigger network. Some people might have more money. Some people have their dads who's got this person in their community that's having to invest in them. And you just got to be like, this is what I believe is right. And you start off, because for us, we made sure we start with this amount of people that we're going to open up the event to, then we increase it, and then we increase it, and then we increase it. So it's that principle of being faithful and little, do you know what I mean? Starting off, and then when you have an event of 100 people, the same heart and passion you had when it was 10, you're just going to carry that on, and that's what people will know you for. That unique feeling you give to them when you welcome out of the door. You know, that unique feeling. Like even for our next event, when we're just sitting down thinking of ideas, just walking up the stairs to the venue. We're thinking of an experience that you can have on the staircase. We're thinking to that detail. There's a lift that takes you to the venue. We're thinking, what can we do while they're in the venue? What kind of game they could be playing, or what kind of, even to the comment their ticket. Right? We're thinking, how can that ticket inspire a conversation with this other random person? Like, we want to be that intentional, and I think if you've got that kind of conviction, that is the business. That is the actual business. The thing where I wanna create something for people, and you realize this is the gap. This is a problem area, and I believe if I solve this problem, it will affect the world. Like our motto is connecting people one event at a time.
Amazing.
And we believe we can change the world through people. But if you can connect the right people to the right people, it eventually will positively shape society. And so that's our philosophy.
Yeah, that's incredible. Quick question. So do you have any piece of tech that you love using that you can't do without? It could be software, hardware, I don't know. Like, is there anything that you love using, or you piece of gadget?
I don't know.
Phone,
my phone. My phone. And I think that's another thing as well, because just like what you were saying, a lot of people say that they don't have the resources, but everything that I do on social media, from the flyers to the campaigns, it's all done on my phone. And I think a lot of people just always ask me questions like, oh, what do you use? What software? Like, what app is that on the MacBook Pro? And I was like, it's on my phone. You can literally just use like InShot or Canva or there's so many different ones, but it's just the matter of just, you know, doing your research as well, because we spent a lot of time looking for different apps that we can use that's different, because we're very big on animation, like digital animation as well, and we're trying to incorporate that into our campaigns just to do something different. So vice
versa. I mean, vice versa. Just repeating what Racquelle said. I think just your basic stuff. But you obviously, I think for us, we're in our business because we're carrying a lot of the cost ourselves. We've tried to, as you mentioned, be resourceful with what we have. We would love to spend money on someone, using Adobe Photoshop and creating the most. But we recognise we're going to grow it organically. We will get there. But I think the main thing is, because there's a lot of apps, there's a lot of products, there's a lot of software. But I think if you're starting a business, you just got to be real to yourself. What's your budget? Where you are, and take your time. And let it grow organically.
Like they say, that old saying, right? Start where you are with what you have. Do what you can. And eventually,
it'll pick up. Because the main thing is about, for me, I always think of the customer experience above the profit. Because someone can come up with your idea and then charge half of what you're earning, you're charging, right? Or offer a price package that financially it appeals better. But if you focus on perfecting the customer experience, it's like you can decide when you want to increase the price or decrease the price, because people bought into the experience. And I think for me, it's like, especially for us, that's our focus. So it's not so much about what's the latest tech out there, or what's the best way to communicate. It's just like, let's focus on making sure that the customer experience is amazing, because that's what they're connected to. And then as time, you can look at a pricing strategy. Obviously, that is best for the business. But if you focus on making sure the customer experience, I know some people are not prepared to do that because they want to make sure, no, it's just profit. And fair enough, that's your model. But I've sat down and watched, like, why is it that people would camp outside an Apple shop? Do you know what I mean? And spend £600 to £1,000. It's because it offers an experience that is unique to them. They've grown up with that brand. Everything about them, their whole life is revolved around the Apple tech. And so I sat there for, well, it's not necessarily the tech. It's like, because another company can go and make something similar, but because they've done the whole UI kind of and made sure it's such a simple experience and it's memorable. Then they can charge whatever they want to it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think. If you can make it's like the Uber thing, right? Cabs have always been there. cabs have always been there.
know, yeah.
Like it's not a new it's been a no-brainer. Like all they've done is just, instead of you hanging around waiting on the street waiting for the next black cab, or you go to the local cab shop and they're like, oh, you know what, madam, wait, give 10 minutes, and you're there like, oh, and you're like there's a whole queue of people waiting on the corner for the next cab. You can plan your journey now. You'd be like, you know what? Oh, my Uber's coming in 10 minutes. Let me chill. Let me give me another bite. You know, let me have another round on the PlayStation. And it's because they focused on the experience of the customer. Yeah. And so for us, it's like we sat from, there's something there. Let's focus on the experience first, and then look at the revenue and stuff secondary, like the profit stuff secondary.
That's incredible. That's a very incredible philosophy. You know, you just reminded me, I read an article about the founder of Starbucks, and he was talking about this same thing.
The personal thing of the name.
Exactly, right?
Putting the name on the drinks.
Yeah, but he was also saying that, you know, Starbucks is not a coffee company. Yeah. You know, it's not a coffee company serving. You know, it's not a people. Yeah,
it's not a business serving just coffee.
Just coffee. Yeah. It's a people thing.
Yeah. Serving an experience. Yeah, with the coffee. Yeah.
It's a people business serving coffee.
Yeah.
It's
a people business serving coffee. Correct. Yeah.
It's not a coffee business serving. It's the other way around. Like, so you have to make it. You know, you have to make people central. Like, you know, and that is if you're playing for the long game.
Exactly.
That's what you want to be doing. But if you want like quick, you know.
Then just look at, you know, this and that to like make this profit. You know, negotiate this with a vendor. I'm not saying don't be savvy. Like Racquelle knows. I would negotiate. I will say, are you sure, boss man? Like, you sure we can't get it for that? Come on, we're starting off. You know.
Yeah. I was gonna ask. I love to ask. I've started asking people on this show. Is there any book that you've read that has changed your life? Anything that you can remember or think about?
I grew up reading obviously Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I think that's the classic. There was that one, the richest man in Babylon. So I read that. That's a pretty cool book. But I think it's just, there's various stuff now with the internet. You can just Google a topic, so you don't. There's YouTube. You know, you can go and there's seminars. So I think because you can get lost in the source, right, with information. And I think if you just drop down what are the key things you specifically need or you're looking for, then have a target approach. Because one book, I can say is great, but it might not necessarily be great for you. Because we may look at things from a different angle. So for me, when I was looking at Rich Dad Poor Dad, I was thinking, okay, I'm just looking at multiple streams of income kind of thing, right? Yeah. But it doesn't really talk about focusing on creating a unique customer experience for your business model. Do you know what I mean? So I think you have to, anyone has to jot down what are the kind of core knowledge areas you want to build on and develop in, and then probably ask the question rather than just ask anyone, what would you recommend?
Oh, of course.
Because you can recommend
Of course. But of course,
10 ways to discipline to this and then.
Absolutely. When we buy books on Amazon, it's always the people that bought it also
recommended. And it might not necessarily. So I think if you do your due diligence, ask yourself the question of what information you do need and want.
A book that you've read that has impacted you, Racquelle?
So I recently just read Bishop T.D. Jakes' book Soar.
Wow.
And like I was so inspired when I was reading it, because a lot of the time you just see like different people like pastors or people in like leadership, and you just think that they just like preach, but I had no idea that he had so many streams of income. And he actually talks about how impactful his life was because of his entrepreneurship and how he's helped his community and also helping the church. And I think for me, one thing that I took away from it was that he literally just had no excuses. Like he was saying, I'm tired, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. But at the end of the day, I want to reach my goal. I want to provide for my family. I want to serve my people. And that's something that we both live by. So I think for me, just reading it just sort of just gave me like confirmation and just like encouragement to know that, you know, you can do it all, you know, and as long as you're loving people, as long as you're serving people, then, you know, you can do it. So.
Amazing. T.D. Jakes is an incredible preacher.
He is.
If you do not know who T.D. Jakes is, just go on to Instagram or YouTube, type in T.D. like Jakes, like oh my god, it's just like you know those days when you feel like I feel low, like I just such motivation. I know, like, and he's got that distinctive voice.
Yeah,
it's like
everyone's uncle. Right?
Yeah, I know. Right? He's everyone's uncle.
Yeah,
distinctive voice. Like, he preaches like he's singing. Like,
legit. You just sit there for hours.
Yeah. So the other thing I love to ask on this show now is I do this segment on Instagram that's quite popular. Simon Says, just like 1 minute of motivation, inspiration, and encouragement to get you through the week.
Right.
What do you like? I'll start with you, Racquelle. Like, what is that one motivational quote, or that one? What would you say to somebody? What's your 1 minute of motivation, inspiration, and encouragement to get somebody encouraged? What have you said to someone recently that has been in a sticky situation, and you kind of just hype them up, be like, yo,
Yeah, I think for me, one of my motivations is my mom tells me all the time that you're enough. And I think sometimes, like, especially as a woman, we forget that. We feel like a black woman, especially, we feel like, we can't necessarily show our emotion, or we can't be honest about certain things because we don't want to be deemed as a black aggressive woman, or we don't want to fit a certain stereotype. Here we go. But that's the reality of it. And I think for me personally, just, being told by my mom, like, you're enough, it's so powerful in so many ways, because I don't necessarily feel like I have to fit into a box or like meet a certain criteria. Like, I'm perfect just the way I am. Obviously, like, there's a lot of character building that's going on with me, but the fact that I've acknowledged that I have to do that, and I choose to do that, so I think for me, just, and for anyone that wants to start your business as well, you're enough too, because at the end of the day, like what Oti and I were saying, like, anyone can have an idea, anyone can have a concept, but at the end of the day, they don't have your heart, they don't have your spirit, and they don't have your, your execution. So at the end of the day, you need to just make sure that you're just focused on people, and you're focused on your craft, and, your work will speak for itself. So that's my one.
Amazing. Wow. I'm speechless. How about you, Oti?
Yeah, so for me, I'll definitely say, don't allow your mistakes or your setbacks or things might not necessarily gone right for you, or your hurts and your pains become your identity.
Deep.
Yeah,
I love it.
Because I've had a couple of knockdowns. I've not always made the best decision, but if you allow it to become your identity, it robs of who you are. So for me, I'm one of those guys that, I want to come there and light up the room, put a smile on someone's face, someone's down, put your arm around them.
Yeah.
But then when I've gone through times when I've been hurt, I've tended to sort of go in my corner, go in my shell. I'm not as happy, I'm not as smiley, I'm not as bubbly kind of thing. And I realised that that's taken away from who I am. It's taken away from my God-given shaped personality. Yeah. Whether you're an introvert or extrovert, I'm not saying change that, but the principal thing is don't allow circumstances to change you from being you, because the minute you stop being you, something spiritual kind of like takes you off course of connecting to the people that are out there for you to connect to, and would accept you for you. But if you've allowed this person, because they didn't agree with you or they don't like you, and you then take 2 steps back from trying to connect with people, then there's a couple of doors that a couple of opportunities you might have missed out on because you've not stepped forward for it. And so even to the little things where, like, even at work, let's say if someone upsets you, then you just say, that's it, I'm not talking to no one in my whole company. And then you walk around with this, this stone face and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if the narrative was the flip, and you had that bubbly character, you have that, how you doing, you're right, etc., and you spark a combination, that could have turned into a business relationship or a networking where someone in their circle could help someone in your circle, but because you've withdrawn because of past hurts, people broken your trust, etc. If I did that, because I did have a place in my life where I was really low, but if I didn't bounce back from it, I may not have met Racquelle, we may not be here, I may not have met Lauren, I may not have met the Power Circle, I may not have done the amazing event, I may not be doing the event I'm going to do. I may not be working in the company that I am now, do you know what I mean, which is a great company with great benefits and stuff, but I could have just hid in my little world, in my bubble, just, I'm so upset about life and stuff. I'm not saying don't be real, be authentic, it's not every day you're going to be on a high, but don't let circumstances stop you from being you.
Amazing, that's incredible. So how can people reach out and connect with you guys?
Okay, so you can follow us on Instagram at Made Me Collective, and that's Made Me Collective with an X instead of the O. And you can also email us at info@mademecollective.com.
Yeah, and that's exactly the same as well with the X, instead of the instead of the O.
We have our next event on the 16th of February from yes from 6 p.m. to 12 o'clock. So yeah, just come along. You know, it's going to be a fun-filled night.
Your vibes.
Yeah, make sure you make sure like you bring your 50s attire. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have games. We're gonna have food there, entertainment. So yeah, and you hopefully.
Yeah, we're gonna have beanbags as well.
Yeah,
so
beanbags.
some comfy seats. It's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe.
It's been a pleasure, man. Like I've learned so much. I've just it's been an incredible session having a catch up with you guys.
That's cool. Pleasure.
I mean, we've met once before, but like obviously it was not as comprehensive as this.
Yeah.
And you're always welcome to come back here if you have a new project or something else coming up, or doors open. Like, let's try and get this message out there. Like, let's try and spread the word. And
100.
what I really love about you, just to close, is that you're bringing people together. Like we live in such a divided world right now. People are hating on each other. Like you guys are bringing people from different cultures, different energies, and kind of building that community. And I love the work you're doing in society, in the community as well. So especially with Solomon, the soup kitchen. I mean, that guy is a legend. Like, honestly, I'm gonna get him on this show.
He's amazing.
He's got I'm gonna try and get him to sing to me. Cool. Anyway, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on, and I look forward to your journey and your successes.
Yeah, man.
And
you hear more of us. Made Me Collective, Made Me Movement. Come on.
Yeah. Cool. Fantastic. Great.
Cool.